Hi guys, this is Neutro from the QC Gaming Network. Welcome to the video guide for the IK Breakcore Furious Charge Barb. In the video, I will be going over the essentials to make this build work. Currently, it is probably the strongest build for Season 5, Patch 2.4. It really excels at speed farming, and it is the best build for soloing greater rifts. So let's start by looking at the items you're going to require. For your armors and weapons, you're going to require 5 pieces of the Immortal King's Call set. The 5 pieces you're going to be using for this build are the chest, the helm, the 2-hand weapon, the gloves, and the belt. The 2 set bonus will allow your Call of the Ancients to last until they die. The 4 set will reduce the cooldown of Wrath of the Berserker for 3 seconds for every 10 Fury you spend. And finally, the 6 set bonus will increase your damage by 250% while Wrath of the Berserker and Call of the Ancients are active. For the rest of your gear, you are going to be using 3 pieces of the Legacy of Breakcore. The 3 pieces you're going to be using are the shoulders, the pants, and the boots. The 2 set bonus will make it so that Furious Charge will refund a charge if it only hits one enemy. The 4 set bonus will make it so the Furious Charge gains the effect of every rune and will gain a 300% increased damage. For rings and amulets, you're going to require focus and restraint. Whenever you hit an enemy with a generating attack, it will increase your damage by 50%, and whenever you hit an enemy with a resource spending attack, it will also increase your damage by 50%. So if you do it right, you can increase your damage by 100% for 5 seconds with these rings. For your amulet, we'll be using the Hellfire Amulet with the Brawler passive. This can be any of the other 3 passives that this build utilizes, so we'll be going over those later, so just keep that in mind. And finally, for bracers, we're going to be using the Ancient Parthan Defenders. For each enemy stunned, this will reduce your damage taken, so that's really good for survivability. Alright, so now that we're done looking at the items you're going to be equipping, let's look at the items you're going to require in your cube. The first item you're going to be using is Standoff. Standoff will increase the damage your Furious Charge deals by 250% of your bonus movement speed. The second item is Vile Ward. Vile Ward will increase the damage your Furious Charge deals by 35% for every enemy it hits. And then the last item, and probably the most important one, is the Royal Ring of Gradar. The Royal Ring is what will allow you to have both the 6-piece and the 4-piece from the Immortal Kings and the Breakcore set. It's really mandatory that you have this in your cube. Alright, so that's it for the cube, guys. I'll quickly go over the paragons and the gems. For paragons, I won't go into too much detail since eventually you'll get them all, but I have listed the order of importance. And for the legendary gems, you should be using Bane of the Trapped, Bane of the Stricken, and Esoteric Alteration. Okay, so moving forward, we'll be looking at the skills you'll be using, starting with the passives. The first passive you'll be using is Berserker Rage. Berserker Rage will increase your damage by 25% when you're close to maximum fury. The second passive is Bloodthirst. Bloodthirst will heal you for every fury you spend. The third passive you'll be using is Nerves of Steel. Nerves of Steel will prevent you from dying every minute. It's especially useful for greater rifts. If you're just doing Torment 10 farming, I recommend you take this off for something that will increase your damage. And finally, the fourth passive you'll be using is Rampage. Rampage will increase your damage by 1% for every enemy you assist in killing. This can stack up to 25 times. For your active skills, you're going to want to use Furious Charge as your main damage dealer. It doesn't really matter which rune you place here, since with the 4-piece of Breakcores, you're going to have access to all of the runes. As for your secondary skill, you're going to want to use Ancient Spear with the Boulder Toss rune. This is actually going to be used for 2 reasons. 1, as your Fury Spender to reset your cooldowns on other spells, and 2, as your proc for your Focus and Restraint as a Fury Spender. The third skill you're going to be using is Call of the Ancient with the Together as 1 rune. This will reduce the damage you take by 50%. It's pretty straightforward, and with the 2 set Immortal Kings, the Call of the Ancient will last forever until they die. The last 3 skills you're going to be using are mainly buffs, the first one being Sprint with the Marathon rune. Sprint along with Standoff in your cube will increase the damage of Furious Charge by another 100% whenever Sprint is active. And the last 2 you'll be using is Battle Rage with the Bloodshed rune and Wrath of the Berserker with Insanity, which will both increase your damage substantially. So that pretty much wraps up the build, so that'll be it for this video. Please remember, if you like this video, please subscribe and thumbs us up. And if you have any questions or any concerns, please feel free to post them in the comments section below. We always try to answer every single one of our comments. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.